women do make it to the top level, and we will soon hear from one of them. And for this, I would like to ask Roland Sigel to the stage. Roland is our current Dean of the Faculty of Science at the University of Zurich and very much a chemistry professor himself, and he will introduce our next speaker.
Thank you very much, Katrin. I've been asked, so dear colleagues and distinguished guests, I've been asked to introduce Greta, but before to introduce Greta Patzke, also to give a little bit a short summary on the situation where we are today in chemistry or the Faculty of Science here at the University of Zurich. So with regards to, women professors. I don't want to dwell too much on history, but nevertheless, I'm starting in 1833 when the University of Zurich was founded, and at that time only men were allowed to study. But 30 years later, actually in 1846, UZH enrolled women, being the pioneer as the first Swiss university to officially allow women to study. And you probably heard that the first woman who did a doctoral study at UZH was Nadezhda Suslova, and she received her doctorate from the medical faculty in 1867. Well, we do not want to diminish her accomplishment, but we all know that a medical doctorate is a bit different. So the first true PhD then was received by Lydia Sesemann, as we heard, in 1874. Just a couple of years later. And she may have been second at UZH, but she was the first at the Faculty of Science, or the Philosophical Faculty Section 2, as it was known at that time. And we also heard that she was the first, to the best of our knowledge, in chemistry worldwide. So needless to say that we, the Faculty of Science, that we are very proud that this is recognized today with this Chemical Landmark Award by the SC. So Lydia Sesemann was followed in short order by 3 women doing their PhD in botany, zoology, and from the title we have to guess that the third one was in physics. But women were the exception. And it took almost 10 years before further women followed their footsteps with the next thesis in chemistry in 1887. And in the 50 years between 1867 and 1916, 54 women finished their PhD at the Faculty of Science, 12 of them in chemistry. And as you can find in the UZH annals, since 1900, numerous women did their PhD in chemistry with the later Nobel Prize laureate Alfred Werner. We had one example from Edith Humphrey. So 54 women in 50 years. Out of a total of 1,475 students that made their PhD in the same 50 years, obviously 3.6% women was still rather exotic in the natural sciences at that time. So they were true pioneers and pacemakers, and steadily over the next decades, the percentage of women doing the PhD went up to 10%. How are we doing today? At the Faculty of Science, we have more women than men. It's 57% female bachelor, 54% master, and 53% PhD students. And actually, within the last 10 years, these numbers have been relatively stable, and with a couple of 1% going up and down. So I think this is really the new normal that we have reached. Looking at the Department of Chemistry, the numbers are that 49% female bachelor students, 47% master, and 38% PhDs. So there is a drastic drop between undergraduate and graduate students, as well as postdocs. Now this trend, and this is what we are very proud of, is reversed when we further advance the academic career path, and with 47% women on appointed university professorships at the Department of Chemistry today. So to be honest, yes, this sounds great, but as usual, it's not the whole truth. Because when we look into other divisions at MNF, at the Faculty of Science, we see different trends. On the undergraduate level, mathematics, chemistry, geography, we basically have a 1-to-1 ratio, so parity. In biology, we even have 70% women. In physics, it's 70% men. In geography, we even have 65% female PhD students. And like very often, we have seen several charts here, after the master and or the PhD, we mostly lose the women. Physics and chemistry actually being an exception. And this is a common trend that we all know. And it's especially true for the women-strong subjects, let's call it like this, like biology and geography. Because in biology, we have now reached 30% female professors, which on the first glance doesn't sound too bad, but we start from 70% women on the master's level. So I think, nevertheless, we are on the right track. 10 years ago, at the Faculty of Science, we started to adjust and fine-tune our hiring process, together with also reforming the strategic professorial planning. And as a result, we managed to continuously increase from 14 to more than 31% women professors over the past 10 years. And we are not done yet. So basically the numbers, or the expected numbers for 2025 and 2026 confirm the steady increase towards parity. Because, for example, in 2025 we have a 60-40 ratio of hiring women professors.